after trails of the secret tales that would make your blood run cold. The northern lights of sea strange sights, but the strangest they ever did see, was that night on the marge of Lake Labarge, I Cremation of Sam McGee. Now Sam McGee was from Tennessee, where the cotton blooms and blows. Why he left his home in the south to roam round the pole, God only knows. He was always cold, but the land of gold seemed to hold him like a spell. But he'd often say in his homely way that he'd rather live in hell. It was a Christmas day, we were mushing our way, you know the snowed out, mush, over the Dawson Trail. Talk of your cold, to the Parker's Ford, it stung like a driven nail. If our eyes we'd close and the lashes froze, so sometimes you couldn't see. It was not much fun, but the only one to remember was Sam McGee. And that very night, as we lay packed tight in our robes beneath the snow, the dogs were fed and the stars overhead were dancing heel to toe. He'd turned to me in capsicum, I'll cash in this trip, I guess. But if I do, I'm asking that you won't refuse my last request. Now, Pa's last need is the things to heed, so I swore that I would not fail. We started off at the break of dawn, but God, he looked ghastly pale. He crouched on the sleigh and he raved all day of his home in Tennessee. And by nightfall, a corpse was all that was left of Sam McGee. There wasn't a breath in that land of death, so I hurried horror driven, with the corpse calf half hid that I couldn't get rid of because of a promise given. It was lashed to the sleigh, and it seemed to say, you may tax your brawn and brains, but you promised true, so it's up to you to commit my last remains. Now, promise made is a debt unpaid, and the trail has its own stern code. In the days to come, though my lips were dumb, in my heart how I crushed that load. And every night by the lone firelight, while the huskies round in a ring, howled out their home, howled out their moans to the homeless home. God, how I hated that thing.
Go on.
It'll come.
Oh, you get stuck in that.
I know, you do. Go on.
It'll come.
No, go on, because you get buried or whatever. The cremation.
And every night with the lone firelight, huskies round in, out their home to the homeless. My God, how I till I came to the Lamarge, the Lake Labarge, and a derelict there lay. It was jammed in the ice, but I saw no trace, and her name was the Alice May. I looked at him, and I thought of it, and I thought of my frozen chum. And here, says I, the sudden cry, is my crematorium. Some planks I tore from the cabin floor, and lit the boil fire. Some coal I found that was lying around, and heaped the fuel higher. The flames just soared, and the furnace roared, such a blaze you seldom see. I bored a hole in the burning coal, and I stuck it in Sam McGee. Then I took a hike, because I didn't like to hear him sizzle. Oh. The stars came out and danced about, dancing heel to toe. I do not know how long the snow I wrestled with deadly fear. But the stars came out and danced about, ere again I ventured near. I was filled with dread, but I bravely said, I'll just take a look inside. I can just cook. It's time I look. So it's time they open wide.
Oh my God.
Open the door. There sat Sam looking cool and calm, in the heart of the furnace roar. On his face was a smile. You could see a mile, and he said, please shut the door. It's fine in here, but I greatly fear that you're letting the cold of the storm Says I left Plumtree down in Tennessee. It's the first time I've been warm.
Sterling.
Dad, can we do the shooting of Dan McGrew? Can we do the shooting of Dan McGrew? The shooting of Dan McGrew. Have a think. Have a
I
think.
got all the marks to prove it.
Go on then.
Have a think.
A bunch of the boys were whooping it up in the Malibu
Night
Saloon. The kid that handles the music box was playing a ragtime tune. Back at the bar in the solo game sat Dangerous Dan McGrew. Watching his luck was his light of love.
The lady's name is Lou.
And out of the night which was 50 below, and into the din and the glare, there stumbled a miner fresh in the creek, dog dirty and loaded for beer. He looked like a man with a foot in the grave and scarce as the scent of a louse. But he tilted a poke of dust in the barn and called for drinks of the house. There was no could place the stranger's face. We searched ourselves for clue. Then we drank his health, but the last one to drink was Dangerous Dan McGrew. There are men who somehow just grip your eyes and hold them there like a spell. Such... I'm looking this way.
The girl.
It's only a story, not very seriously. Such was he as he looked to me like a man who had lived in hell, with the face most hair and the dreary stare of a dog whose day is done. He watered the green stuff in the glass. The drops fell one
by one.
Then I got to figuring who he was. I was wondering what he'd do. I turned my head, and there watching him was that red bag known as Lou. His eyes went rummaging round the room. He seemed in a kind of daze when at last the old piano fell in the way of his wandering day. The ragtime kid was having a drink. There was no one else in the stool, so the stranger stumbled across the floor and flopped on there like a fool. In a buckskin shirt, greys with dirt, he sat and I saw him sway. Then he clutched the keys with his talon hands.
My God, but
that man could
play.
Were he ever out in the great alone when the moon was awful clear and the icy mountains hemmed you in with the silence you most could bear, while high overhead, green, yellow and red, the northern lights slept in bars, then you've a hunch what that music meant. Hunger, night and the stars. And hunger not of the belly kind that's banished with bacon
and
bacon and beef, but the gnawing hunger of lonely men for a home and all that it means, for a fireside far from the care there are, 4 walls and a roof above, but also crammed full of cosy joy, crowned with a woman's love, with a woman dearer than all this earth, and true as heaven is true. God, how ghastly she looks through a rouge. That lady.
C'est moi, chérie.
Then the stranger turned and his eyes that burned in the most peculiar way. His lips went in a kind of grin. He stood and I saw him sway. Now, boy, says he, you don't know me, and none of you give a damn. But I want to state that my words are straight, and I bet my puck they're true. One of you here is a hound of hell, and that one is Dan McGrew.
Yes.
Then the lights went out, I ducked my head. Whoo! 2 guns blazed in the dark. Screamed. The lights went up. 2 men lay stiff and stark. Pitched on his head, pumped full of lead, lay Dangerous Dan McGrew, while the man from the creeks lay crushed to the breast of the lady.
That's Lou.
Now these are the simple facts of the case, and I guess I also know. Some say that the stranger was crazy with who's, I'm not denying that so. I ain't as well as those lawyers, guy, but strictly between us two. Now the woman was Christian, and pinched his poke, was the lady that's known as Lou.
Those loyal guys and pinched his poke.
Brilliant.